episode 1. Pops, go ahead and introduce it.
Well, hey, we thought might be a good thing today to talk about what it takes to be great, not what it takes to be good, not what it takes to be average like everybody,
Yep.
what it takes to be great. And so we're gonna plug a few things in and just talk about it and see where we're going. Start us off, Jack.
All right. Yeah, first thing I want to go to is playing your role. Every player on the team has to have a role. You have a scorer, you have a shooter, and I one thing that I think a team always needs is that tough guy. That'll just battle no matter what. You don't have to ask him to do anything, dive on the floor, stuff like that.
Wow, those guys are great to have.
Those are the best to have.
Yeah.
That's a big piece to very successful winning teams. You've seen past couple years around the area. Cave last year had Coop and had Doyot, and I think that's why they were so successful.
Yeah, those guys were the epitome of toughness.
They were key roles for that team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you talk about you say roles, you always spring back a memory in my head, and goes back to when we came back out of Richmond a few years ago to get the ball back in your hands down in Richmond. Obviously, you were known as a shooter, uh, two guard down there. All 4 years you was down in Richmond. So we brought you back up here with Coach Billy Hicks, Twin Hoops Elite, and I remember the very first tournament we had. We went to Charlotte, North Carolina. Uh, Billy got all the guys together in a meeting room, conference room, or whatever, and I'll never forget him going around the table, addressing each kid's role to the program at Twin Hoops Elite. And personally, I thought that was great because you get off on the right foot of what's expected, where I see you, and that's from the coach. And I think that's where the roles are assessed is from your coaching staff, and then from that point, you got to buy into what he's saying.
yeah, I think that's great. Um, on the coaching standpoint, I always think it's important to address your roles because if it's not addressed, I think most players take it out of spite that they can let off a little bit and play how they want to play. You know what I'm saying? You've got some players that they're the best at their role, and that's why some of them are so great, especially in college. You
Well,
see a lot of these guys succeeding
yeah.
from that.
Well, you can't have five Lucas.
You can't,
You
yeah,
know what
you
I mean?
can't, you can't. And I
Yeah.
think that's what Luke is missing right now is
Right.
those pieces around him that will get him to win a
Oh,
ring because he's that good of a player. He
oh,
needs it.
oh, he's that good for
Yeah,
sure.
for
But
sure, for
yeah,
sure.
adding pieces and knowing roles and all. I mean, look at the Chicago Bulls back in the day. Uh, you know, I get tired of hearing people say Michael Jordan played with the greatest team assembled of all stars. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Uh,
there's plenty of those
it
super
wasn't
teams.
none of that three
There's
and
been
four
plenty of
going to the
those.
same team.
Yeah,
I mean, you had guys like Rodman
Pippen.
diving out of bounds, man, for loose balls, grabbing 17,
Yeah,
18 rebounds a night.
you got.
Scottie Pippen,
Yeah,
which obviously was a great player, but he got better when he came as part of Michael and the crew. But look, greatness is something that everybody wants, but it takes a whole lot. I think it starts right there with as being part of the team, knowing your role and playing that role.
yeah, and I think that's what MJ did. I think he really impacted winning on that
Well,
team. That's
MJ
why.
wasn't he wasn't a role player though,
Well, no,
brother.
no, 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 no. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he impacted winning. That's why he was so successful and why he won 6.
Well, he set the example, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, ain't no doubt about
laid the
that.
foundation for, you know, players nowadays. So
So roles, so what we were talking about, you can't be five Lucas, but great. We don't want nobody wants five Lucas,
nobody
but
does.
you gotta know where you sit
Hmm.
in that order, right? And I think a team that's got two or three shooters, a couple of rebounders, and some defensive guys that will absolutely cause havoc. Man, that's a good nucleus of players understanding
Yeah.
what that role is and being great at that role, because what we're talking about here is winning games as opposed to losing games. And when you've got guys that know their roles, I mean, you have a role, Jackson, as the
Yeah.
point guard at Lord Botetourt. It may not be the same role you had as a sophomore or a junior, because it's certainly changed, right?
Yeah.
But you do have a role. So, the first thing for me is certainly um, understanding those roles, and I guess next would be what, Jack, buying in.
Yeah, the buying in aspect, commitment is a big part on teams like that. You got to be committed in order to be successful.
So yeah, man. So we talk about the roles have been handed out. Now it's time to buy in.
Yeah.
Right. That's where the humanistic side comes in. It's either a want to or don't want to. Right.
Yeah, true.
It's a choice that you make or a choice you choose not to make. A very valuable point right here, because your coach has assessed you, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to buy in. If you're really, truly about the team, right?
Yeah.
That's when you have to truly buy into what your role is.
Yeah.
And hey, dude, if that's been the best rebounder, I talked to a young kid the other night. I was so proud of him. I think he had 15 plus rebounds the other night. Again, won't mention no names, but the young man just competed for rebounds, right? And I just think that's huge, right? He wasn't interested in how many drop steps can I have, how many jumpers do I get, because I have 15 rebounds, don't I earn the right to get 10 shots up?
No.
Yeah, it's never a discussion, man. He knows who the shooters are, or he knows that he's probably not going to score the ball a whole lot, but he's bought in, man. And
Yeah.
I think that's big time. I don't care if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. You better buy in, because it certainly makes a difference on the success of that program. So rebound guys, hey, this guy comes off a bench, man. He takes 2 or 3 charges a game. That's unbelievable, right?
big
He
time.
gets every loose ball. His nose is dirty all the time, right?
Running plays, yeah.
Sets great screens. I mean, don't you think you got to have all those guys to win basketball
Yes,
games?
of course. Not even all 5, however many is in the rotation. They all have to bought. Even the kids that are on the bench.
They have
They have to be bought in. I mean, not even the games. I mean, usually the percentages of practices to games is a lot more practices and preparing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that those kids really need to be bought in, because if you have everybody bought in, it's hard to lose and really,
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
totally agree, man. And
course.
that's a big deal, which leads you right into the, total commitment,
Yeah.
right? And commitment don't just start your senior year, your junior year.
Oh.
Commitment. How committed have you been your whole life? What are your habits daily, right?
Yeah.
How do you become a great ball handler? You work with the basketball in your hand, 2 basketballs in your hand daily. It becomes a ritual, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know
Of
to
course.
be great, or you tell people, I can handle this guy, man. I broke him down the other night. I put him on skates, man. You ain't put nobody on skates. Come on, man. There's a big difference in
Yeah.
a decent ball handler, good ball handler, and a supreme ball handler. There's a big difference between a good shooter and a great shooter. There's a big difference between a screener and a great screener, right? There's a big difference between a good rebounder and a great rebounder. Man, that's commitment, but it's years of commitment.
Yeah,
So,
but before commitment, I think you kind of have to give yourself a self evaluation to see where you're at. Not even skill wise, but on each skill, whatever skill you're probably not the best on is probably what you need to build on first. Be the best at, not the best at, but get to the top, the best level that you can get to, and then you've got 2, 3, 4, whatever else you have to work on. But I think all those have to come together and be a part of your repertoire in order to first be committed, and then second, be the best player you can be
Yeah.
at your role.
Yeah.
And it's got to be consistent day in and day out. You have to put those reps in for each. You can't just do it one day or cheat yourself, because if you cheat yourself, you're cheating the grind, and it's not going to get you to where you want to go.
And I promise you this when I say this, commitment ain't going to practice Monday through Friday.
No.
And then playing games twice a week.
Definitely not.
If you telling people you committed by doing those things, yes, that's part of commitment. But what are you doing when practice is over? You staying after?
Yeah.
You going to find another gym to get some shots up in? Are you going to the weight room, local weight room, getting some work in? I don't know what you do, but I know that all of it's part of commitment. Commitment when you walk through your front door at your house after practice, what are you putting in your body? That's commitment, right? Is
Talking
it
about
good?
that extra stuff, it's like overtime.
Right.
I mean, the more you work, the more you get.
Dude, are you getting in bed by 10 o'clock? Are you getting 8 hours of sleep a night? Good hours of sleep? Are you putting the phone down, man? All of these things talk about commitment. Man, there's so many more things that go into the word commitment to be great. To be great as a team, man, everybody has to buy into these things.
Yeah.
So look, dude, we've hit on a few things today. Like to try to keep it simple, but have some good stuff to talk about. And I think we hit on three good things.
Accepting your role, buying in, and then how committed you want to be successful. Yeah.
So hey, the great teams, those things are working right now.
Yeah.
The not so great teams, those things probably aren't working well right now. Yeah. Right? Would you agree with that?
I agree.
So, you can watch games on TV. You can go see high school games. You can go watch some county rec ball. They're all going to fall into the same category, man. When you got kids doing things the right way, a lot better things happen. So hey, man, it's been good. Yeah. It's been fun. It's been real. What's your takeaway today, man? What's your hopes for the rest of the season, man? When you talk about these three things, how about you? How about your squad? What's your commitment level, son?
I mean, my commitment level is pretty high, but I honestly think if we all start to buy in and have a few not give up, we'll see great things. But we hit on a lot of key things today, and I think it was an awesome podcast today. I want to thank y'all for joining us on episode 1 of the Rova Hoopcast show.
Boy, you better give a shout out to your sponsor.
Oh yeah, let me give a shout out to sponsor Gary Crawford for anything. You need anything house-wise on the market.
Boy,
Remax
he's terrible
got you.
Yes, man.
Dog.
Look, bro.
Hey, man, I'm not a salesman like you.
Come on, man. Hey, if you're looking to buy or sell real estate in 2023, give Gary Crawford a call at Remax All-Stars, 540-353-5372. Whether you're buying or whether you're selling, I'm your guy. 18 years in it.
See, man, you've been doing this for 18 years.
I got to teach this dude how to give me a shout, man.
On all seriousness, thank y'all for joining us, and as always, we got 5 on it.